Welcome to Ridge Life. I'm Tim, and today on the ridge, we got old Blue up here and we're gonna put her to work. The sun is out, the ground is mostly dry. It's still a little damp in some areas, but I gotta take advantage of it while I can. So what we're gonna do today is use the box blade and the bucket. I've killed all the grass around the gazebo and the east side of the power shed here. I'm gonna scrape all that grass off, level it out, because I've got 60 tons of gravel coming this week. That's right, 3 giant dump truck loads of gravel. And then while I'm out here, it is time to finally get all that dirt around the foundation smoothed out, leveled out, because it does not look good, and I gotta get it done. Been saying I'm gonna do it for a while, finally dry enough, so let's get this done. Give you a little closer look at what we're gonna do here. We can see we got the gazebo, and right next to the gazebo is my well. So there's the frost-free hydrant, and you see this little mound of dirt. I don't know if it's gonna pick up on the camera. There's a mound of dirt right there. That's where my pressure tank is. I've let it settle. I got a little extra dirt on top of it. I'm gonna scrape that dirt off, pull it on over to this area here. Now right there is where the ridge crib's gonna go. Right, so as soon as I get this gravel up here, we're moving the ridge crib up here. That's the next thing after this. Okay, so you can see up here under the gazebo, it's still muddy. That's still muddy. So I got to get the generator out of the way, get these pallets out of the way, get our hose reel out of the way. We're going to now it's gonna be hard. I'm probably have to get the box blade back in a little bit, get the bucket. There's really not too much grass. I killed most of it, but I do want to build this up with a little bit of dirt. And you can see I have killed all of this grass. This grass all here is dead. I've sprayed it twice with glyphosate. So all I gotta do is really just box blade this. It's a little low right there, so I'll move some of this dirt. I do want the natural flow that way, so that's not too bad. Now we still need to get this anchored into the ground, dig some post holes, get some sono tubes down there, get concrete poured, get it anchored in, but that will come eventually. So you can see over here, the grass is growing out there, and I killed all the grass behind it. I'm not gonna get the tractor up in there, so we're just going to have to put the gravel over that and keep the glyphosate on it. But I wanted to get all the grass seed, I want to get all this turned over and just make sure nothing comes back. And so that's what the job's gonna be right here today, but we also gotta go over to the foundation. Let's go check that out. Over here on the south side of the foundation is where our septic tank is, and all the dirt that was brought up from that, I have filled in around the foundation so I can smooth it out and create a natural flow for drainage away from the foundation. There's also the forms for the patio and the form they use, the jig they use to pour the concrete inside the foundation. I need to get all that taken over next to the power shed where I store wood. There's still a lot of good wood in there. And then I gotta make sure that I do not drive over the septic tank with the tractor. That's a concrete septic tank. That 7,000 pound plus tractor. Do not want it to fall in there. So I'm gonna smooth this out a little bit, and of course all the dirt all the way around. I'll walk you around. You can see there's dirt built up right there. I'll smooth that out, smooth this out, pull that over the septic tank back a little bit. All this I pushed up under here. I may be able to drive in here and smooth this out. Not really sure if the tractor will fit like that. Same thing along this wall here, smooth all that out. You can still see it's a little wet in some places. I got all the grass killed in there, and it's fairly level inside the foundation there. Come around to the backside. I built all that up around the patio, but you can still see next to the foundation. I'll smooth this out, and eventually I need to get some grass seed in here so it doesn't create these big furrows like this. I'm not at construction point yet. I do have this little ditch right here that I got for drainage out of there, so I'm gonna pull a lot of this back as well, and of course all that along there. So lots of work to do today on the ridge. Let's get on the tractor. decided not to attempt to get under the gazebo, and there's hardly any grass under there anyway. So, and it's pretty low under there. So it turned out okay. I could have tilted the box blade where the blade bit a little bit better. I went ahead and used the front end bucket, and my front end bucket, you know, is a little bit bent. That's why it got the little furrow on one side. But it got most of the big grass clumps up. You can see right here. See, it's all scraped pretty smooth. All the big grass clumps have come up. And we got a lot of the dirt, you know, smoothed out, brought that way. I'm just gonna leave that line right there so, so I'll know all the gravel goes to the edge of that. And we can see right here, yeah, look how smooth that is. There's hardly any grass still left there at all. And what's under here, I ain't too worried about. So now I need to get this raised area over the pressure tank, cut that and move it over this little low area right here. Let's take care of that. Alrighty, made quick work of the well here. I think it turned out pretty nicely. Remember, it was a real large raise right there. Of course, I couldn't get too close to the faucet or my electrical or water connections there, and there's a valve under the big circle there. But I think it turned out really smooth, really good. Kind of took all that dirt, put it in that low area right there. And you can see we're scraped there. Didn't do anything under there, but that'd be fine. I'll push the gravel under there. Scraped over there. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna take me a quick lunch break and come back up and work on that foundation. is a hot one today. Goodness gracious, that sun was beating down on me, but what beat down on me more was the hammer on my finger. I used a big old framing hammer to try to loosen up the box blade tilt adjust. A little seized up. I need a little grease, a little WD-40 action or some lubricant, and that's kind of why I wasn't scraping very good with the box blade. Well, needless to say, the hammer won. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But hey, I won on the foundation leveling out. Check this out. Ooh, gosh, smooth. That is all the way around. Now, I know there is some dirt up next to the foundation. I didn't want to get too close with my box blade and crack my foundation. So I'll get a shovel and smooth in that area around there. I got a bunch right here, but look how close I got. Yeah, I definitely don't want to hit my foundation. See how high the dirt was right there? So I will just get a shovel, smooth that out, and smooth this out around here. But look at that, guys. Does that look pretty smooth? Still need to taper that off a little bit right there, but let's look at this. I got that smoothed off. I got this right here all smoothed off around. Again, it's just a little bit high right there. I can taper some more off. Don't want to taper too much off and get some erosion. Got this all smoothed out right there. I left this drainage ditch, right? I did not smooth that out because I want any water that builds up in there before I get the subfloor on to drain out right here. So it'll push out right there. I may have to get the shovel. Whenever I get the shovel and smooth out the edges, I'll dig this little ditch out there. You can see I left it high right there. I do have a little bit, I probably ought to get the box blade, smooth this out right here just a little bit more. I see a little bit of waviness action that I probably can't get with a shovel. Right there is a septic tank. I left it a little bit high. There will still be settling over the course of the next year or so. So I did leave that just a little bit high. I definitely don't want, and I did not drive over the septic tank. The septic tank is right there. And I just stuck the box blade, pushed it, dug the bucket, pushed it, and I got it really nice and smooth around there. Unfortunately, I could not drive between the foundation and the front porch pillars, just too narrow. So I did leave some dirt right there, got this smoothed out. I will just get a shovel and smooth that out in that area right there. It's just two little mounds, and I'll fill in some of this area around these porch columns. And I left that a little high, didn't I? Yeah, well, it's kind of not too, it's pretty good. I mean, the front porch, get a nice slope. Yeah, so I'll get a shovel right there, fill in that right there, fill in up over there. I think that looks good. What do you guys think? Did I do an okay job? I know the box blade wasn't tilted just right, but I think I got it done. But the big thing is, we are ready for gravel back there. So tomorrow or the next day, 60 tons of gravel coming in, and I am ready for it. So guys, one thing after the other. I need to get up on that solar carport, don't I? Need to finish inside the power shed. Lots to do here on the ridge, so make sure you hit that notification bell. Be notified anytime a new video comes out. Make sure you hit the notification bell and subscribe on RidgeLife, RidgeLife Ramblings, RidgeLife's Reviews and How-Tos, RidgeLife Lessons, Lessons from the Ridge. All those channels, like, share, and subscribe. Always 100% free, guys. Love every single one of you. Until next time, hope everyone has a blessed day. Stay with me and go RidgeLife. Woo!